and gentlemen, it's toss-up time.
Toss-up question for this week.
Woo.
I'm gonna admit I stole this idea and this question from ESPN. They had Mel Kiper and Todd McShay talking about this, and no, it's not anything about Andrew Luck.
No, it's not college related.
It's not anything about any players coming out or this or this or this or this. I stole this question because I figured we know as much about football as Mel Kiper and Todd McShay.
I think I do.
You know, I mean, they're all right. They're okay. I mean, we don't have as cool hair as Mel Kiper, but as far as knowledge goes, it's pretty much Toss and Mel Kiper.
Dude, how does he keep his hair that color all the time?
Just for men's, because his beard don't get weird like Emmitt Smith's. So, toss-up question is, got some quarterbacks.
Got some?
If they're under 5 years pro, they were able to make our list. We didn't put all of them on there, we just put the relevant ones on there.
We don't got Tony Pike on here.
So
folks.
the question is, of the quarterbacks that have under 5 years under their belt, 5 years or less, which one will have the best career? Go ahead and give the quarterback list.
So the quarterbacks, Matt Stafford, Detroit, Kevin Cobb, Arizona, Matt Ryan, Atlanta, Cam Newton, Carolina, Josh Freeman of Tampa Bay, Joe Flacco from good old Baltimore, Mark Sanchez from the Jets, and Sam Bradford of St. Louis.
So let's start with Stafford.
Can I just put Jimmy Clausen on this list?
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Let's go ahead and start with Stafford. Now, Stafford has a young defense in place. Stafford has probably the best young receiver, well, definitely the best young receiver on his team. He's got a solid tight end that's emerging, and he's got running backs that eventually at some point are gonna come out and do well. So Stafford's solid, but here's the downside to Stafford.
Injuries have been a massive problem in Matt Stafford's career.
He gets hurt. So,
but I've said this before. Look at his statistics, folks. When he's fine,
when he's healthy, he's great.
Heck,
but
he's come out throwing touchdowns with his arm hanging off of his body by a strand.
But another problem, he plays against Green Bay and he plays against Chicago. So then let's go to our next guy, Kevin Cobb.
He was going to be the savior of Philadelphia football. He was going to be the next guy.
And then Vic came and took his job, stole his job.
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to defend Mike Vick. He didn't really steal his job. Kevin Cobb got hurt. Green Bay banged him up. Surprise, Green Bay being amazing. And Mike Vick came out and played amazingly. So Kevin Cobb, I say, fairly lost his job. So, but now he's in Arizona. He's got his own team. He's got Fitzgerald. I mean, he's got Todd Heat now added to that. That's not a bad add-on. I'm watching ESPN today. There's rumors T.O. might want to go to Arizona. That's another good weapon to add to Kevin Cobb.
So here's the problem then. The Cardinals aren't good.
They aren't good.
I don't know if it's the bad coaching. Their defense isn't great.
You lost Carlos Dansby to the Miami Dolphins. He was your top player. You traded Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie to the Eagles for Kevin Cobb. And then you also traded a draft pick away for Kevin Cobb. Stuff that could have made Kevin Cobb better, you were getting rid of to get him. I don't think a quarterback can change a whole team.
All right, so then who's our next guy on the list?
Ice, baby. Matty Ice.
Matt Ryan. Now,
You can't talk about this bias. I'm going to talk about that.
Matt Ryan has Roddy White. Tony Gonzalez isn't going to be around for Matt Ryan's
He's
career.
old.
I mean, it's sad. He's still legit, but he came for a Super Bowl, and I think last year his window slammed shut when Green Bay dominated him. I don't think
trade deadline. It goes to New England.
Well, that would be awful.
Yeah, it would be really awful.
But he's got Tony G that's helped him build his career. I don't know how much Michael Turner's got left in the tank.
He's so up and down.
I don't know what he's got left. But
My fantasy team hates it.
He's got Roddy White and he's got Julio Jones. Those two guys are going to be there for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and call this. That trio is going to be the Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne trio.
Whew, that's
just one level below. They're not going to be at the level, But you got Roddy White, who's older, more experienced, has the rhythm with Matt Ryan.
Disagree. There's a lot of trios that even top that and they put Peyton Manning's in the top. Number one. I mean, I could put a lot of trios above that trio right there.
Who?
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Kurt Warner.
No, not even close. Marvin Harrison's numbers blow them away. Reggie Wayne's numbers blow them away. Peyton Manning numbers blow Kurt Warner away.
What about Marino and the Morris brothers?
The Morris brothers were just a product of Dan Marino.
Everyone was.
But
Heinz Ward plays.
But that's what Matt Ryan has in place. But he has the problem that he has to go against two of the other emerging stars.
Cam Newton and Josh Freeman. I hated Cam Newton. I'm gonna be honest, I'm growing to not mind Cam Newton. He's proved me wrong. He said, hey, you think I suck? And he slapped me in the face and went, I can throw. His problem is, can he win?
Right, and I think that's... The Bucks and the Panthers don't have the offense that the Falcons, the Lions, the Cards, they don't have the offense those guys
They don't have the weapons.
So what kind of... It all depends what kind of career you're talking. Who's going to throw for 50 grand out of them guys? Stafford if he's healthy,
Cam Newton.
Ryan,
I put Cam
maybe
Newton
Cam
there.
Newton.
The only thing that's...
Is Josh Freeman, though?
No.
Who could win a Super Bowl out of them? Freeman, Ryan. I don't think Stafford, because he's going to go against
Newton honestly
too many
could.
people.
If he had a defense, he puts
That's what
up
I mean.
yards and yards and yards and touchdowns. But then, as soon as he gives up yards, in under 5 seconds, his defense gives up yards and touchdowns in
Right.
5 seconds.
So, who do we got next? Then?
Next is another guy who I thought could win a Super Bowl, but is slowly looking like Tony Romo with a unibrow, and that's Joe Flacco. He's good doing the regular. When he's home, he's unstoppable. When he's in the playoffs, he goes against the Steelers and loses. I don't know what happens.
Now, here's what I'm going to say about Joe Flacco.
Yo, Flacco.
Joe Flacco's got weapons.
He's got Bolden.
The thing is, how long are his weapons going to be with him? And the second thing is, how good is Joe Flacco going to be when Ray Lewis is gone? When Ed Reed is gone?
That was my question.
When Terrell Suggs is old? How good will he be then?
Because Flacco looks good because they win games, but Flacco's not the reason they win games. Watch the Jets game from this
When
past
it's
week.
fourth quarter,
Watch it. It wasn't
when it's
in the
fourth
morning.
quarter and there's 2 minutes left, I want Ryan and White. I want Stafford and Johnson.
And that's
I want Cobb and Fitzgerald. I don't want Flacco and Bolden.
I'll put the next quarterback on our list into this little piece right here. Mark Sanchez goes in this. Look at the quarterback ratings from last week's games between Flacco versus Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez had the lowest QB rating by a quarterback since 2009. He put up like a .6. And you think these guys are going to take it to a Super Bowl? I mean, Flacco ran like a .9.
I'm going to say...
Defense won that game for Baltimore.
I'm going to say that Sanchez has a better career than Flacco because... I think Rex Ryan can build a better defense than Harbaugh.
But do you think with what's... Last year, Derek Mason wouldn't listen to Flacco. You think Derek Mason's going to go to New York and listen to Mark Sanchez?
No.
You think guys like Plexico, who are veterans, are going to listen to Mark Sanchez? No.
Plexico's fit in pretty good there so far.
He's fitted in, but a lot of times these veterans don't want to listen to these young guys.
Right. But I just don't see... Baltimore doesn't have that...
Listen, you do what Ray Lewis tells you what to do in Baltimore.
Right. And but Baltimore doesn't have that let's go get weapons mentality. Anquan Bolden is the first big offensive weapon signing that they've had
they had Jamal Lewis.
A while, yeah. They brought in Priest Holmes. That was probably the biggest offensive firepower bring in.
They brought in Priest, and then they got Jamal, and then offense went stale. And then they hey, we need to get a quarterback. We got Flacco. Let's trade for Bolden. Let's get Lee Evans in. He's been hurt. I can't say anything about Lee Evans. He's been hurt. Ray Rice has been looking like a mini Jamal Lewis. I mean, obviously he's going to put the numbers Jamal does, but I mean he's been a pretty solid dude.
So,
but here's the thing, though, too, about our next quarterback. We were talking about, like, we get young guys to play with the young guys. It hasn't been working out so well for poor Sam Bradford.
right.
Sam Bradford has the young guys, but with the veteran running back in Steven Jackson. But is Steven Jackson too old now to be the
Sam
veteran?
Bradford had a good year
Last year.
because the Niners had no coach.
Nope. Cardinals
Seattle
had
won the division,
What?
so they
a terrible record.
so they were better. The Cardinals had no quarterback,
no one.
so Bradford goes out and looks good
Good.
because he's beating those terrible teams. That division has gotten so much better. They're still the worst division, but they've gotten better.
Yeah.
And Bradford has declined. I don't know if it's a sophomore slump or what, but he's declined.
I don't know what's going on. But I mean, I've been sitting here, as you're talking, I'm talking. I keep going in my head. Who's going to be the best?
Well, we got to get down to that because we're running out of time.
Alright,
So
who do you pick?
I'm going to say if Matt Stafford stays healthy, he finishes... We'll measure it by these significant things. Passing titles, league MVPs, and Super Bowls. Whoever wins the most combined of those things had the better career. And I'm going to say that if Stafford stays healthy, he will finish with the most of those things. I think that Stafford or Ryan will win a Super Bowl. The other guys on the list, I cannot say that for.
I'm gonna go with Stafford as well. I know I've been all over the lines this year, and I'm not trying to keep being biased, but I'm picking Stafford if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy. And I'm not gonna say he's gonna be the only quarterback that wins a Super Bowl in this list. I'm gonna be honest and say maybe this year I know they lost to the Titans, but I think the Ravens can pull it off. If they get home field advantage in the playoffs, Ray Lewis and all them, they know this could be do or die for Ray Lewis. This could be do or die for Ed Reed. I'm hearing rumors Ed Reed might want to retire just so he can take care of his brother's kid. Like, there's a bunch of issues going on in that locker room. This is do or die, I think, for the Ravens. I think Flacco can pull it off this year, get that monkey off his back, but that'll be all he does. But I'm still sitting with Matt Stafford.
Can the Ravens beat out the Patriots for home field advantage? Can Joe Flacco beat Tom Brady in a shootout? Once Brady's gone, Flacco's conference.
No, Mallett's.
He's not going to be that good right away, though. Flacco's already going to have years under his belt. When Brady's gone...
Bill Belichick's got that taken care of.
I understand. But that's Flacco's conference when Brady leaves.
Those are all questions for another toss-up, my friend.
So...
These questions that we're asking ourselves right now could be on a future toss-up, but you won't know
if you don't
watch. So watch the episodes. Tell your friends, because they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on, folks.
So we're gonna see you next week with predictions and recaps and
I'm all kinds of excited.
Maybe a hot button, maybe a toss-up. You never know with us.
You don't know.
Hell, we might not even post a video. You never know.
Whoa! That ain't happening. That can't happen. We need views.
We'll be up, guys.
We got no live, so.
Take care, guys.
Easy.